Russell Reddding. How you doing, Russell?
Dave, I'm doing great. It is good to hear from you, and I appreciate your great voice of agriculture and all the good work that you're doing to help tell the story of what we do and the great industry of ag here in Pennsylvania, so thank you.
Well, you know, agriculture is our number one industry here in Pennsylvania, and I have always felt that we just don't talk enough about it. But, you know, the schools here in Pennsylvania play such a major role. This year is 150 years of USDA, 150 years of our land-grant colleges, but it also shows us how important food is. And DelVal does such a great, Delaware Valley, I should say, to pronounce it correctly, does such a great job in the agriculture part, don't they?
It has a great history. You know, it's 116 years old, and you mentioned, the USDA and Penn State and great institutions, and, you know, I put DelVal right there among them. Our history is rooted in agriculture. It's been a great part of our past. It's a critical part of the future, and we're excited to be, in that select group of colleges and universities here in Pennsylvania with food, agriculture, and the environment as part of their educational offering.
Well, you know, here the other day I had the opportunity of talking to Art Hershey, and now I believe, what is Art's position with the school?
He is a trustee here at Delaware Valley College.
And he was so excited. Now, here's a man that spent his whole life on the farm, started out on the farm, and played a major role in legislation to keep agriculture strong here in Pennsylvania throughout his life, and finally retired from that, but still playing get his fingers in it, being a trustee at DelVal. And of course, his exact words is that he was really excited at many of the new things that you are starting to integrate into Delaware Valley School. Now, you want to talk a little bit about a few of them things?
Yeah, first of all, I mean, it's a real honor to have Representative Hershey on the Board of Trustees. You know, it's nice to have somebody who spent their life in public service and production agriculture, and to bring that to the college. Again, with our history, it's a great match for someone like Art, and plus just his sort of very pragmatic views of what we need to do in agriculture. So it's been a real pleasure working with him. Over the course of the last year, we really have started to take a really hard look at what it is we're doing as a college. We've got a strategic plan, and part of that plan looks at experiential learning. It looks at our stewardship of the land and facilities, begins to dig into some of the curriculum components. But I've personally sort of jumped into that with the president here and our Board of Trustees, all with an eye on how do we position the college and position the students for a marketable degree. And that at the end of the day, that's the only business we're in, is an education. So I've been pleased to be part of that. We put a new high-density orchard in here that is the first orchard, of course, to go in many years. And as you well know, in agriculture, an orchard's not something you do every day. So that orchard's going to be here for, the next generation of students here. We've rebuilt the dairy components, put a new parlor in, reshaped the size of the dairy herd to make sure that we were making good use of the feed and grain and pasture here. We've rebuilt some things at each of the equine facilities and livestock facilities. So just across the board, have really jumped in to reposition the college for the years to come.
Well, you know, Russell, in the next 25 to 50 years, we're looking at a tremendous jump in population throughout the world. And, of course, to meet the demands of the food supply, the colleges are going to play, the agricultural side of the college is going to play a major role in that. What do you see in your school right now that will help meet those demands in what you're teaching the students?
Yeah, great question. I think in those dynamics we share with the students every day to say that we're going to move from 7 billion people to 9 billion people in the course of 40 years. Those 40 years happen to be the 40 years of their professional lives too. So whether they're here and they're going to step into some work, working in agriculture, we hope, and those years are the years you're going to add 2 billion people. So you've got to have, the skills to sort of to deal with that, and those skills include, the sciences, they include the business components, they include the communications. So we have, again, over the last year, taken a hard look at our curriculum to make sure that we've got the business components. Do we have the appropriate science courses and all the related sciences? Are we putting enough writing and communication courses in? And then, of course, experiential learning. You can have all of those courses in the education, but what about the experience? So we want to make sure that the students have an opportunity to really get the hands-on experiences in whatever their field of study.
Right.
So when they leave here, they have both the degree and the education.
Well,
to do what we want them to do.
Russell, one of the great things about agriculture in college is that I'm hearing this throughout the country. Schools that teach agriculture, their students have such great opportunities when they complete their education. And what I'm saying by that, they're not waiting to find jobs. The jobs are coming looking for them. You feel it's the same pinch there at Delaware Valley?
Absolutely. We've got a standing list of employment opportunities for every student that's in plant science here. They have, every senior this year had a job in January. They're ready to go. Of course, they're graduating in a couple of weeks. So there's a good example where, we don't have enough students coming into that area to meet even the current demands of the industry. But we could talk the same about dairy. We've got great dairy career opportunities. We're seeing a lot of demand from the turf grass and lawn care and that whole sector of agriculture, the green industry. We're seeing it in the nursery side. Even with the economy being a little sluggish in some of these areas, we're seeing a pretty steady, employment opportunities and for each one of these students. So I'm very excited about it. I think it's a great moment to be in agriculture, extraordinary time to be in agriculture.
Well, as we all know, there's less farmers. I believe it's like a little over 1%, about 1.5% in between there of the population that are farmers, and the rest are the people are consumers. So there's no doubt with that shortage of people that we need more and higher educated practices in agriculture. Tell me a little bit about the courses that actually are taught in agriculture at Delaware Valley.
Well, we have a number of areas. Let's just take sort of let's take horticulture as one example. You have our basic core courses. That would be the writing and math and the sciences and such. And then when you get into the very specific coursework around natural resources, you have everything from field soil morphology as an example, soil courses, feeds and grains and forages, farm management, global crop ecology, entomology, irrigation technology. All of those, we can get down a whole list, but there's a lot of foundational courses that we teach in each of these departments around some of the principles of plant production. And as the students quickly realize, it is a balance between the science and a lot of other things, but it's grounded in science. That's agriculture.
And basically what it is supplying the tools of knowledge so that these young people can go on and meet the demands of the future needs of agriculture and food supplies for the world. And of course, that's probably the most perfect thing they could do. So
I think it's a great career opportunity, and our students, I'm proud to say, come in and they get a good solid core in the humanities and the sciences, and then they build on that around their specific areas of interest. So if it's in the crop science or animal science, the environmental sciences, they build off of that. And then what's really important for Delaware Valley College is we provide them an experiential learning opportunity within their field of study. So they get a chance to not only do the classroom work and the hands-on work, but then go out and try that. I mean, go out and take a look at their own, area of interest and see if this is what they want to do in life, And
Right.
some students say it's a great thing, and others say, I want to sort of specialize in another area, and that's part of what the education's about.
Well, Russell, I guess you and I could talk all day long about this, but it looks like we're running we're running out of time on the radio. But I sure want to thank you today, and one of these days I got to get down there and enjoy a day at Delaware Valley.
But would love to have you come down. We have A Day, which is always a sort of a community and college festival here. In fact, it's the first fair of the Pennsylvania Fair season here at Delaware Valley College. And so we'll have you down next year and have you broadcast from Delaware Valley College.
Sounds good to me. And ladies and gentlemen, that's Russell Reddding, and he's Dean of actually Agriculture for Delaware Valley College and does a great job there. And of course, his life has been dedicated to agriculture, and that's what we love to see. And we'll be right back.